Welcome into the blockchain basement. Today we are joined by one of the greatest voices for crypto and all of the awesome things happening within the altcoin sector for years on end, Lark Davis. Lark Davis, how the heck are you doing out there? Are you still in New Zealand?
Still in New Zealand right now, though we're probably moving to Dubai pretty soon.
Really?
For a variety of reasons.
Okay.
Not just tactical, that's pretty cool too. But
Yeah.
we need an adventure in life. So we're gonna take off and go to Dubai for a little while.
Now, when it comes to taking profits, what is your favorite vehicle to move profits into?
Right. So basically, there's part of it will go to Bitcoin, right? But my general sentiment at this time is to sell 100% of the altcoins, everything, including my Ethereum bags, which I've been holding for a very long time now. And essentially, that's going to go out of the market. Most of that money is going to completely exit crypto. And that's not to say, like, I don't believe that crypto's the future. Of course, crypto's the future of finance, man. Crypto's a crazy market. It's only going to get bigger over time. But there's no valor in holding the altcoins down to minus 99% losses during the bear market. There's no reason to do that. Right? You'll hate yourself for doing it if you do it. Don't do it. So take all that money out and it gets diversified across stuff, right? Crypto is great for building wealth, but it's not great for storing wealth except in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's the one crypto I think you can really reliably hold long term. But I've got a pretty good Bitcoin stack already. So I'll add a bit to that, of course, during the bear market. But we diversify out dividend stocks, gold, probably buy a new property or something like that. So this is the kind of stuff, right? Stuff that's uncorrelated with the cryptocurrency markets, but also when I do finally have the big cash out for the cycle, whenever the heck that happens. I know, guys, it's been pretty boring and painful recently with this downtrending market. Whenever that happens, because there will always be another cycle peak, right? Whenever that cycle happens, I think whenever I cash out, I'm just going to wait a while. Wait a while and just see what transpires. It might be 6 months, might be a year before I move with any of that cash and do anything. Because Ray Dalio was absolutely right in his comment a couple years ago, cash is trash. It is trash. But in short term, you manage to hold on to your value and you can watch. And if 2026 is going to be a bad year in markets. Again, we're a long time out from that, guys. Okay, where no one knows for sure. No one has a crystal ball around here. But if 2026 does end up being a bad year in markets, then you don't want to rush in. Right? You don't want to rush in. And that's a mistake a lot of people make. They might do well in the bull market. And then as soon as it's down 30%, okay, rush pulling my money back in. And then it drops another 60%, know, for your coins, right? We're talking about crypto specifically. And even with stocks, if stocks enter into a bear market, look at 2022 as a great example, right? Some people probably would have rushed in and bought Facebook at a 20% discount, but peak to trough, it went down almost 75%, so there was a lot of opportunity to get better prices if you were just a bit more patient with your money.
Absolutely. And I love that plan. Really, me personally, I love land. I love chickens. I love vehicles. I love hard iron goods out here in America. My favorite thing to do is real estate. And really, that's what kind of compounded my gains is buying real estate outside of city centers, because I see a lot of executives leaving city centers. They come out, they buy up the properties with land, and they push those prices up. So I've experienced a really good upswing in that, in retaining the wealth. And you bring up something very, very key, is not holding these altcoins by virtue, just to be part of some community. No one's going to rub your back and give you a massage and thank you for holding the altcoin all the way into the bear market. So that's very, very important to keep in mind. Now, what are your top 5 altcoins that you're watching for this cycle moving into 2025?
First, I want to talk about I think, the biggest chain narratives that we're seeing, because there's a lot of stuff going on, right? There's a lot of excitement across the space, but you have to understand that right now we're getting floods of new altcoins coming to the market every single day. All these huge projects are launching with massive fully diluted valuations and massive unlocks coming for investors. So you just have billions of dollars a month of altcoins hitting the market, and there's just not buyers there to prop those prices up. So you have to keep in mind this market right now, and there'll be a time when everything kind of pumps, but some more than others. But look where the strength has already been in the market. And of course, the 2 strongest narratives so far have been the Solana narrative and the Base narrative.
Yes.
Right. So there's been a lot of great coins launching there. So 2 of my favorite personal investments in the Solana and Base ecosystem, Jupiter and Aerodrome.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
you're right on line with, Aerodrome has been incredible. I found Aerodrome, and really my whole thesis behind Aerodrome was that it's this swap layer for Base, Coinbase being the custodian of nearly the largest Bitcoin wallet on the planet at this point. I mean, it's nearly competing with Satoshi Nakamoto's level of Bitcoin being custodied by these ETFs. And another thing that compounded that thought for me was seeing the Department of Justice go after Binance and almost try to bring them down a level. Meanwhile, rolling out Coinbase and the base chain itself. Like, I just feel like it was this clearing of the path for Coinbase and the base chain to dominate this cycle. And I love Jupiter. Actually, Jupiter is my Solana. It is my specific Solana play here. Now, Solana, I think, is going to be a great competitor. But what are your favorite things about why you chose Jupiter? This is incredible. You chose this project.
Yeah, so with Jupiter, you just look at it, it is one of the most bullish projects on Solana, right? It's an exchange aggregator, right? But so much business runs through their front door. They've got one of the biggest perpetual exchange markets, which doesn't really flow back to the Jupe token, but still it brings a lot of attention to Jupiter more broadly.
Mhm.
You have their launch pad, which has been pretty damn successful so far in bringing interesting projects into the Solana ecosystem. You've had great staking rewards so far for the Jupiter tokens. So this is the thing. I've gone into that with sizing conviction. So I don't need to get 100x return on it. If I can get a 5-10x return on Jupiter, it's going to be absolutely fantastic play for me. So I think it's just positioned as one of the major coins on Solana ecosystem. So if you're bullish on Solana, the Solana beta plays become very, very interesting. And Jupiter's one that's actually capturing value, because a lot of the other big beta plays don't really capture a lot of value for token holders. And if you're just getting a governance token, those things really can struggle because there's no model behind that. And also, and I don't know how, if we get this bull run, but Weremao, the developer behind Jupiter, he said that at some point they will turn on a fee sharing switch for the Jupiter token holders.
Okay.
That might be a while in coming, though. That might not be till next market cycle. So I don't plan on holding this through the bear market, by the way. I very specifically, I think when this staking season finishes, which is probably going to be January or something like that, I'm going to unstake, prepare to sell.
Got it.
Right. So that's my sort of plan for Jupiter right now.
Absolutely. And do you have any AI tokens that are kind of the top of the list for things to watch in the AI sector?
Man, the AI space has been all over the place. It's been pretty nuts actually watching it. And I've got a lot of speculative AI plays in my bag, right? Whether it be current holdings or private sale rounds that haven't released yet and stuff like that. I don't want to necessarily give any names. People can go look at my disclosures list if they want to see the stuff I'm invested in. But I think right now you've got a lot of great ideas that haven't really come into their own yet, right? I think AI is a great use case for crypto, right? Because there's so many, you see, when you don't have decentralized networks and you have centralized companies like Facebook and stuff determining what is or is not included in AI models and all that kind of stuff, you see the results of that. Lots of censorship, lots of BS. So having decentralized networks is actually going to be a great benefit for AI moving forward. And you need to have incentives within those networks to make them work efficiently, obviously. So crypto, like, decentralized GPU networks, for example, can be a really great use case. Now, one that I don't own, but have paid attention to, I think they're doing really great stuff, is Render, right? They've got a great decentralized GPU network. So that's a real great use case of DePIN and AI coming together with proper incentives, proper decentralization to offer to these kind of AI protocols, right? But a lot of AI use cases, and I'm invested in some of those, are pretty speculative, right? Are we really going to need a chat GPT, but on the blockchain?
Right.
Don't know, but if it works out, then great.
Well, and you said something so key there, because I really feel like the AI narrative, we're talking about these AI tokens that, in my opinion, I can put them as a metaphor. It's a Ferrari. You have Bitensor Tau. It's a Ferrari of AI, but it doesn't have the road to drive down. We don't have the GPU capacity built out for this AI dream to come to reality. So within that, I mean, that's why we loved Render when it was far lower than the cost it is right now. Even with this gigantic pullback, distributed GPU systems, I feel like, are going to be the first and foremost thing that we see actually implemented by, corporations across the board to make this AI dream come to reality. So I think that just talking about the distributed GPU focus is going to be something very powerful. It's how I found this project Aether. I found a few others like that are beta plays to a narrative, which is basically just building the road for this data to move across. And that's another reason why, I've been huge on Chainlink, is because it's a data aggregator. They want true data. And I think that that's kind of the first and foremost roadway they need to drive down.